This episode is brought to you by Experian. Are you paying for subscriptions you don't use but can't find the time or energy to cancel them? Experian could cancel unwanted subscriptions for you, saving you an average of $270 per year and plenty of time. Download the Experian app. Results will vary. Not all subscriptions are eligible. Savings are not guaranteed. Paid membership with connected payment account required.
Ryan Reynolds here for, I guess, my 100th Mint commercial. No. I mean, honestly, when I started this, I thought I only have to do like 4 of these. I mean, it's unlimited premium wireless for $15 a month. How are there still people paying 2 or 3 times that much? I'm sorry, I shouldn't be victim blaming here. Give it a try at mintmobile.com/save. Whenever you're ready.
$45 upfront payment equivalent to $15 per month. New customers on first 3-month plan only. Taxes and fees extra. Speed slower above 40 gigabytes. See details.
Ryan Seacrest here. When you have a busy schedule, it's important to maximize your downtime. One of the best ways to do that is by going to ChumbaCasino.com. Chumba Casino has all your favorite social casino games like spin slots, bingo, and solitaire that you can play for free for a chance to redeem some serious prizes. So hop on to ChumbaCasino.com now and live the Chumba life. Sponsored by Chumba Casino. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus terms and conditions apply.
Welcome back to Rams Up, your favorite LA Rams podcast. We are part of the Fans First Sports Network. You can follow us on our YouTube channel as well at LA Rams Up. I'm your host, Mark. I'll be joined occasionally by my football gurus, Paul and Ian. Let's get to it. Hey, welcome back, Ram fans. It's finally here. Rams preseason game number 1, the Cowboys visiting SoFi Stadium. Man, we've been waiting a while for this, haven't we? And I'm going to give you my game preview, and not the typical previews you're used to. We're not going to do game predictions or keys to victory, any of that stuff. What should we be looking for? What should we be focused on in this preseason game? I'll go through pretty much the entire roster, each position group anyways, what we should be hopeful to see in this preseason game. Now, it's really difficult with the Rams because they do hold so many players back, and on top of that, a lot of injured guys. And I'm not going to focus too much on these injuries. I'm going to try to keep this upbeat. A lot of good things happening in Rams camp, and maybe we'll see some more good things in this preseason game, but it's going to be a challenge. Couple of these units are so banged up. But hey, it's a fun time. Let's get ready for this Rams preseason game with the Cowboys, and I'm going to share with you everything I want to see, things I'm looking for in this game. So let's take a look at this offense position group by position group. What do I want to see? Well, let's start with the quarterback position. Stetson Bennett. He's going to play a lot, maybe the whole game. I expect Dresser Wynn to get in a little bit. Now, the deal with Stetson Bennett is, the Rams, I don't think the Rams drafted him to be their future quarterback. I think they drafted him because of the debacles we have had at the backup quarterback position over the last few years. Baker Mayfield and Carson Wentz stopped the bleeding there a little bit. But we drafted Stetson Bennett for that exact reason, someone that can come off the bench and play some pretty good quarterback. And in their interim, well, he takes that year off for personal reasons, so the Rams bring in Jimmy G, and so Stetson Bennett's actually 3rd on the depth chart, but Jimmy G can't play the first 2 weeks, and apparently he is not going to play against the Cowboys. Sean McVay saying it's Stetson Bennett's show unless Jimmy G begs him to get in. So let's find out some more about Stetson Bennett. Is he a guy that can come in and play legitimate quarterback? Is he a guy that can come in and play the position well if something goes sideways for the Rams, especially in those first 2 weeks? If something goes sideways with Matthew Stafford and Jimmy G, he'll be unavailable, remember. So let's focus on Stetson Bennett there. And then Along the offensive line, now, the reason I want to go directly to the offensive line is because if these guys can't get it done, how much can we really find out about our running backs, tight ends, and wide receivers, right? And we're going to be missing a bunch of guys. And I tell you, Kevin Dotson and Steve Avila and Joseph Nopum as well better not set foot on this field. I'm sure they won't. Rams bring in 3 offensive linemen, street free agents, Matt Caskey, Alec Lindstrom, and Connor McDermott. For this exact reason, how can we evaluate anybody else if we can't have offensive linemen that cannot get it done? And these guys have been around a little bit on NFL rosters and practice squads, and they're going to be augmented by some guys that have been around that we don't know much about, namely Logan Brass, Mike McMillan. Man, Brass, the experiment at right tackle has apparently ended. So let's see if he can play well at one of the guard positions. And then there's the rookie Bo Limmer, and he is the guy I am most interested in seeing because we need help along that interior offensive line big time depth-wise. And then there's Casey Levinston. I think he's still nursing an ankle, so he may not play. And Warren McClendon. He is apparently our backup right tackle. Joseph Noteboom's listed second on the depth chart. He'll be the first guy in at either tackle position, and then Warren McClendon. So Bo Limmer, Warren McClendon, those are the guys I'm most interested in seeing, and Leviston if he can get in the game. I don't know about these 3 free agents, if any of them have a real shot at making this roster. I think they're really brought in to help the Rams offense get through this preseason with so many guys banged up and the Rams holding back starters for the most part. And running back, Blake Corum, I think I feel pretty confident he is as advertised. Am I excited to see him play? If he does play, absolutely. But I'm more interested in seeing Zach Evans, who I suspect is going to get the bulk of the carries, right? He has to. He should. Give this guy a shot to see what he can do in a game, albeit a preseason game. I'm interested. He's gotten buried on the depth chart. They bring in Boston Scott and they draft Blake Corum. How do you think Zach Evans feels about all that? So a guy that's really looks like he's headed for the practice squad. So I want to see him play. I want to see what Zach Evans can do, and hopefully, again, behind an offensive line that can open a few holes. Tight end, are Colby Parkinson and Davis Long going to play at all? Not really sure I care. I really am more interested in seeing Hunter Long because I think he's going to play. It feels so bad for this guy. He started out, he's drafted by the Dolphins, and it looked like he had a shot to have a role there. Never worked out. Comes over to the Rams, finally gets a shot with the Rams, and then he quickly goes down with an injury. He's a talented guy and has a chance. Well, I think he will be our third string tight end at least. So interested to see him play finally. And hopefully he gets a bunch of targets against the Cowboys. And wide receiver, we know Kupp and Nakua and probably Robinson are not going to play. I'm going to see what Jordan Whittington can do. Tyler Johnson, we know what he can do. He's going to be on this roster one way or another, and as will Jordan Whittington. But I just think Whittington, if you watch this YouTube channel or follow the podcast, you know how much I love this guy. He is the epitome of a Sean McVay, Los Angeles Rams wide receiver in every way. And again, hopefully Stetson Bennett gets some protection and can get the ball to Jordan Whittington. Can't wait to see what he can do.
This episode is brought to you by our good friends at NFL Sunday Ticket on YouTube TV. I'm sure by now you've all gotten back into your Sunday routines, but they could be even better. With NFL Sunday Ticket and YouTube TV, you get the most live NFL games all in one place, every game, every Sunday. And you can even watch up to 4 different games at once with Multiview, one of my favorite inventions of this decade. It's exactly what you need to catch all the action. Make your Sundays more magical. And also, YouTube TV is great. I got it this year. It's awesome. Sign up now at youtube.com/BS. Device and content restrictions apply. Local and national games on YouTube TV. NFL Sunday Ticket for out-of-market games. Excludes digital-only games.
Let's move over to the defense. Now, what am I most interested in up front? Everybody's talking about the pass rush. I'm feeling pretty good about the pass rush. We'll get to that in a second. What I want to see is how this defense holds up against the run, because I think that's where we are thinnest. That's probably my biggest concern, that teams are going to be able to run the clock and move the ball on the ground against us. I like our starters, Bobby Brown, Kobe Turner, and Braden Fisk. And if you look at this depth chart, very interesting. Rams only list 2 defensive linemen. They don't have a defensive end in that starting 11. And maybe this is indicative of how they feel about their front. They're so thin. They're only going to start 2 guys. I don't think that's going to happen. But what I'm getting at here is Tyler Davis. Let's see what he can do. If he's a guy that can step up, improve, he can contribute on a rotational basis really soon, early in his career, his rookie year, going to be a big boost to this defense. And remember, I mentioned this in the past, Rams defensive linemen typically take a little while to contribute. You think about Greg Gaines, Jonathan Franklin Myers, they kind of gave up on him completely. Even Bobby Brown, he still hasn't really rolled yet. Can Tyler Davis come in as a rookie and contribute? Let's watch him in this game against the Cowboys, focus on him, see how he holds up. Now, I'm going to go straight to the inside linebacker position. A lot of negative vibes emanating from Ram fans that I know about Ernest Jones and his knee. And I'm not going to go negative here. I'm just going to cross my fingers that things are going to be okay with him and he's going to be able to get through a season nursing that knee again. And maybe I'm making a mountain out of a molehill. Hopefully I am. But he's definitely not going to play. And if he's not playing, Christian Roseboom might not play at all as well. But there's 2 guys I do want to see play, and that's Fatukasi and Spates, the two of the backup inside linebackers, pressing Jacob Hummel and Troy Reeder for roster spots. And Fatukasi has shined in camp a little bit, made some splash plays, is what I've heard. And, we all loved Spates coming out of college, an undrafted free agent this year. And he has the ability to go sideline to sideline as well, do a little bit of blitzing. I think these 2 guys are going to get a lot of playing time. And one of them, I have a feeling, is going to make this roster. And we need another contributor at that position, a guy that can really make plays from the inside linebacker position. Cornerback, Kobe Durant, up until this joint practice with the Cowboys, heard he was flying around making lots of plays. Looked like he was a legitimate, potentially a starter at cornerback. Now, if you saw the depth chart, he's listed side by side with Trey White on one side and Darius Williams on the other as a starter, which means to me he is next man up if either one of them can't go. White returning from an injury, Darius Williams nursing a hamstring. So Durant, apparently he's been playing really well. I think he struggled against the Cowboys. So will he play? Probably not. But let's see what Charles Woods and Jerry Jacobs can do. Woods, an undrafted free agent that has had some really good moments in camp. And Jerry Jacobs, they just signed him coming over from the Lions. He was with the Lions last year. And both these guys have a shot at making this roster with the unfortunate injury to Darion Kendrick. And there's some other guys, too, that will be pressing for roster spots, Cam McCutcheon and a handful of undrafted free agents. But these are the 2 I want to keep an eye on, Jerry Jacobs and Charles Woods, see if they are legitimate. Well, we know Jerry Jacobs is. He's started for the Lions. Charles Woods, a little bit of an unknown. It's one thing to have moments in camp. It's another thing to cover potential NFL wide receivers. I don't know who the Cowboys are going to run out there, so that remains to be seen. And then we have the, what else can we talk about here? Cam Kinchins. Gotta see I want to watch Cam Kinchins big time. He's going to play for sure, right? And he had a big hit against the Cowboys in that joint practice. And, I think I have the sneaky suspicion the Rams got a steal here. He's going to be a guy that is just going to be a big hitter, thumper, run all over the field, making plays. Love our safety group. And Cam Kinchins is part of that equation. I think he's going to be a big-time contributor this year. Initially, probably just adding depth, but I think he's going to find a way to get on the field. The Rams are going to find a way to get him on the field. And we got some talent back there, John Johnson, Cam Curl, and then you got, Quentin Lake and Russ East that are both slotted at that star/nickel roles. So where does Cam Kinchins fit in? I don't know. They're going to find a way to get him on the field. Now, I haven't talked about the pass rush yet, saving that for last. And let me touch on going back to the Rams defensive line against the rush. This has been a very good Cowboys offensive line. They've hung their hat on the offensive line for it seems like 20 years. A little bit of a turnover here. They're bringing in two rookies, Tyler Goyton and Cooper Beebe. I suspect they will play. And so, again, Tyler Davis matched up against them, but also our pass rush dealing with a really good Cowboy offensive line. Again, I'm not sure how many starters are going to play, but this would be a good test for Tyler Davis and the pass rush. So you got Jared Verse and Byron Young looking really good in camp. And Brennan Jackson, he's a guy that's going to play a little bit, and I have high hopes for him as well. Let's see what he can do. I really want to see what these three second and third stringers can do. Nick Hampton, O'Shawn Mathis, and Keir Thomas. Mathis and Hampton, second-year guys, edge rushers. We just kind of forget about them. One or both of them are going to be on this roster, and we're going to need them to contribute. Byron Young and Jared Verse, hey, kind of like the Blake Corum thing. Excited to see them play, and hopefully they make some splash plays. But I'm going to be watching Nick Hampton and O'Shawn Mathis. But to be totally honest here, yeah, I'm really excited to see what Young and Verse can do, and hopefully they get some significant snaps. But Mathis and Hampton, Keir Thomas, don't forget about them. Let's see what they can do. Now, when you get to special teams, I'm curious who the kick returners are going to be. It's on paper, it's Tutu Atwell. So maybe they got to give him some tries in this new system, with this new kickoff rule. So I'm sure he'll have some shots. I think some undrafted free agents will carry the load later in the game. Kick returns and punt returns. And interested in the Rams' strategy, returning and coverage-wise. Man, after last year, just special teams were so bad. Just look mediocre. Just don't embarrass us. And I think that's hopefully that's what we're going to see against the Cowboys. But what I want to see, what we all want to see when we're talking special teams, Joshua Carty, please come through for us. Had a shaky day against the Cowboys at that joint practice, 2 for 5. Hey, we're so spoiled with Greg Leleg and Matt Gay. Joshua Carty is not going to match either one of them early in his rookie year. We just have to hope that we see steady improvement, gain confidence. He can walk out there against the Lions and kick a couple of field goals. And the Cowboy game will be our first chance to see him. And hey, I may be, this is probably the most important thing. If the Rams are kicking field goals, I'll be watching, just hoping Joshua Carty can put some of our concerns to rest. So, preseason game number 1 against the Cowboys. Hey, don't get caught up in the score. Hey, don't worry about the injuries while you're watching this game. It's an opportunity to watch a bunch of guys perform on the field, prove that they can help fill a couple of holes on this Rams roster and be big real-time contributors down the road. So enjoy the game, have fun with it. Go Rams. Can't wait. Rams versus Cowboys. We'll have a recap after the game, so check back here on the YouTube channel. That's all I got for now. Out here from Rams Up. That's going to do it for this episode. Remember, you can reach us at ramsuppodcast@gmail.com. And don't forget about our YouTube channel. Our handle is at laramsup.com. Till next time, keep the horns up, stay safe, and have fun out there.